Hey guys, today is going to be interesting and attractive, get ready. I'm 25. Built a damn good life for myself from scratch. I run a successful traffic arbitrage business with my former best friend and business partner, let's call him Jake. We started grinding back in college, living off ramen and caffeine, testing ad networks and landing pages until something clicked. Now, we're pulling in high 5 figures a month, sometimes low 6. Fast cars, penthouse condo, crazy vacations, all of it. I thought I had it all. And part of that all was my wife, Amanda. Married her 2 years ago. She's gorgeous, sharp-tongued, always the life of the party. People either love her or can't stand her. I was in the first camp. She had this confidence, this way of walking into a room like she owned the whole damn place. It was intoxicating. Things were good, at least they seemed that way. I was hustling hard, but I always made time for her. Lavish gifts, weekend getaways, expensive dinners. I just thought that's what love looked like. You work, you provide, you protect. But looking back, the signs were there. She started getting real snappy over little things. Like I'd forget to text her while on a biz call with Jake, and she'd flip. She stopped wanting to do anything physical, always tired, always busy. And she was glued to her phone more than usual. Laughing at messages she wouldn't show me. Just my girls, she'd say, rolling her eyes if I asked. That lie used to sit in my stomach like a brick. I wanted to believe it was just a phase. Stress, maybe. Or maybe I was being paranoid. Then one night, we all went out to this fancy rooftop restaurant. Jake, me, Amanda, and a couple other people from the circle. Nothing too crazy, just dinner, drinks, some chill vibes. That's when everything started unraveling. And yeah, I'll get into that in the next part. Trust me, it gets worse than I ever imagined. So, that rooftop dinner I mentioned? It was supposed to be a low-key celebration. We had just landed a new ad deal, something international, big commission split. Jake and I were hyped. I invited Amanda because she kept saying she felt left out of my world lately. Figured this would help her feel included. We all got dressed up. She looked ridiculous, honestly. Like she was trying to be the center of attention. Tight black dress, heels high enough to give someone a nosebleed, that look in her eye like she was about to either start a fight or start something else entirely. At the time, I chalked it up to her being a little tipsy. She'd already had a drink at home. Dinner starts. Everyone's vibing, shots are going around. Jake's across from me, Amanda's beside me. At first, everything seems cool. We're all laughing, eating, shooting the shit. But then I start noticing stuff. Like Amanda and Jake sharing these weird little side glances. Her laughing a little too hard at his dumb jokes. Him brushing his hand past hers under the table once, maybe twice. I thought, nah, I'm imagining this. They've known each other forever. We're all drunk. Chill. But then she leaned in, hand sliding down his thigh under the damn table, and I froze. Straight up paralyzed. I didn't say anything right away. My brain went into overdrive. Did I just see that? Is that what I think it is? Maybe it's innocent. Maybe I'm losing my mind. Then Jake stands up, all casual, and says he's going for a smoke. Amanda says she's going to the bathroom. Not even 5 seconds apart. They leave. Together. My stomach dropped. I sat there in a haze. I couldn't even hear the table chatter anymore. Just the sound of my own heart pounding like a war drum. I waited a few minutes, then made an excuse to follow. Walked down the hallway that leads to the bathrooms and the patio. And yeah. There they were. Not kissing. Not full-on making out. But close. Too close. Her hand was on his chest. He was leaning in, whispering something. She was smiling. Biting her lip. The kind of look she used to give me, before all this started. They didn't even see me. I just turned around, walked back to the table, sat down, and smiled like I didn't just watch my world start burning. I didn't confront them that night. Couldn't. I needed to be sure before I went nuclear. So I started digging. And what I found? Yeah, that's coming in part 3. Let me know if you're ready for it. It's where the real hell begins. After that night, I couldn't sleep. You ever get that feeling where you know something is off, but your brain keeps trying to logic its way out of it? That was me. Tossing and turning next to her in bed, watching her sleep like nothing happened. I was going insane. I needed proof. Something concrete. So I did what I had to do. Checked her phone. I know. Privacy, boundaries, all that. But when your gut's screaming and your heart's cracking in real time, screw it. She left it on the nightstand one morning when she went to shower. I knew her passcode, of course I did, we were married, for Christ's sake, and I went in. Texts were wiped clean. Classic move. But she forgot about the photos. There were screenshots. Cropped just a little too conveniently. A pic of Jake shirtless in his condo, our building, just not our floor. A mirror selfie she took in his hoodie, the one he kept in our office. And one blurred shot of them lying in bed together, just their legs tangled. That was all I needed. I snapped pics of everything, sent them to myself, and waited. Waited until she got out of the shower, towel around her, smirking like she didn't just detonate my trust. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I just showed her the photos. Her face went pale, then red, then she rolled her eyes like I was the one being dramatic. You went through my phone? Seriously? That was her first reaction. Not, I'm sorry, not, let me explain. Just attitude. I asked her how long it had been going on. She gave me this bitter laugh and said, does it matter? Then she tried to spin it. Said I neglected her. That I was obsessed with the business and emotionally unavailable. That Jake made her feel seen. You ever feel like someone just sucker punched your soul? She started crying, then blaming me, then denying it, then gaslighting me so hard I started questioning if maybe I had failed her somehow. But I snapped out of it. Told her I wasn't going to play therapist to her betrayal. That she had a choice, and she made it. With my partner, no less. She screamed at me then, saying I never really loved her, that she felt more chemistry in one night with Jake than in a year with me. That one cut deep. And Jake? I didn't even get to him yet. That snake didn't even try to reach out after the dinner. Radio silence. Probably assumed Amanda would do the dirty work and he could keep his hands clean. Nah. Not on my watch. Next part is where I deal with him. And trust me, it gets messy. After Amanda's little meltdown, I packed a bag. Told her I was crashing at my buddy's place for a few days. She didn't argue. Just slammed the bedroom door behind her and cranked the music up like she was the one who'd been wronged. I sat in my car for a while after leaving, just numb. Couldn't even cry. Couldn't think straight. My whole body was buzzing like I drank 6 Red Bulls but I hadn't eaten in over 24 hours. Everything felt hollow. Like my life had suddenly been unplugged. And the worst part? Jake. My partner. My ride or die since sophomore year. The guy I started this business with, stayed up till 4 a.m. with running split tests, broke bread with. Hell, he was at my damn wedding. That betrayal hit harder than Amanda's. So, I decided to confront him. Didn't text. Didn't call. I walked straight into our office the next morning. He was already there, sipping a protein shake, looking all smug in his designer hoodie like he didn't just blow up everything we built. He looked up at me, paused, and said, "Hey, man. You good?" I didn't answer. Just threw my phone on the desk with the photos pulled up. His face? Priceless. A flicker of panic, then that sleazy calm washed over him. "Look, man. I didn't mean for it to happen, alright? It just did. We got drunk one night after that Vegas trip, and..." I cut him off. "How long?" He hesitated. That silence said everything. "Since Cabo," he finally said. "Cabo. That was 6 months ago." I laughed. Out loud. Couldn't help it. 6 freaking months of smiling in my face, clinking glasses, closing deals, playing the role. "You know what the worst part is?" I said. "I would have given you anything. Money. Equity. Hell, I called you my brother. And you know what this rat said? She came on to me, bro. Unbelievable. Just chucked the blame onto her like it meant he didn't cross the line 1,000 times himself. No remorse. No real apology. Just a tone like he was annoyed I found out. So, I told him we were done. Personally. Professionally. He started backpedaling then, talking about contracts and shares and don't be emotional about business. Too late for that. I had already spoken to our lawyer. I owned the majority stake. We had clauses. Leverage. And the best part? He'd been using company funds for some of their little dates. Idiot left a paper trail a mile long. Told him I'd give him a buyout option, at a discount, of course, or we go to court, and I bury him in legal hell until he's broke and bald. He chose the buyout. Amanda tried to reach out after that. Called me crying, said Jake ghosted her once I kicked him out of the business. Said she'd made a mistake and just wants to talk. Nah. Doors closed. I'm still picking up the emotional pieces, but honestly, I feel lighter. Empty, yeah. But free. One more part left, where I talk about what I did next, what I learned, and what I'd tell anyone going through something like this. So yeah. That was the crash and burn of my marriage and business partnership in the same month. Never thought I'd be that guy with the betrayal story that sounds like a bad Netflix drama, but here we are. After cutting Jake out of the business and Amanda out of my life, I went quiet. Focused on locking down the company, tightening operations, getting the legal cleanup done. That was the easy part, weirdly. Numbers don't lie. People do. The hard part was the silence that came after. There were days I didn't talk to anyone. Just woke up, hit the gym, worked, ate like crap, and stared at the ceiling until I passed out. I was angry. Humiliated. Depressed, even if I didn't want to call it that. I had poured everything into them, trust, love, loyalty, and they treated it like it was disposable. But somewhere in that chaos, something weird happened. I started feeling awake. Like I'd been sleepwalking through a version of my life that looked great on the outside, but was hollow at the core. Amanda? She was never really in it with me. She liked the lifestyle, the attention, the optics. But love? No. That's not what that was. Jake? He was never my brother. He was a leech with a Rolex and a nice smile. And I let him sit at my table thinking we were building an empire together. So what did I do? I moved into a new place. Smaller, but mine. Got back into actual hobbies, music, hiking, anything that didn't involve ad spend and CPMs, started therapy. Not because I was broken, but because I was healing. And I wanted to do it right. And guess what? The business is thriving. Better than ever, actually. Cut out the dead weight and brought on a new partner, someone real, loyal, sharp. No drama. Just results. Amanda sent me one last message a few weeks ago. Something like, "I miss what we had." I didn't realize what I lost until it was gone. I didn't reply. What was there to say? So here's what I'd tell anyone reading this, going through something similar. 1. Listen to your gut. It's never paranoid. It's protective. 2. People show you who they are early. Believe them. 3. Don't romanticize potential. Whether it's a person or a business partner, actions, promises. 4. You're not weak for hurting. You're human. Let yourself feel it, but don't stay there. 5. Level up. For you. Not to flex, not for revenge. For your damn peace. If you're going through something like this, know this: it sucks. But it won't suck forever. You'll come out the other side clearer, stronger, and probably a little colder, but sharper, too. Anyway, thanks for reading this far. I didn't expect to dump my soul out like this, but it helped.